All right, let's dive into a huge turning point in Lord of the Flies. We're talking about chapters 7 and 8, which is really where that fragile little society the boys tried to build, well, it starts to completely fall apart.
So what really happens when all the rules just disappear? This is the big question of the whole book, right? And let me tell you, these next couple of chapters give us a pretty terrifying answer. The boys get pushed to their absolute limits, and that bit of civilization they brought with them, it's wearing seriously thin. So, let's start with Ralph, the guy who's supposed to be in charge. As the days keep dragging on, he starts getting haunted by his old life. You know, a world with rules and order and simple comforts he probably never thought twice about before.
And it's really interesting, you know? He's staring out at this massive, empty ocean, and it's not a symbol of rescue anymore. It's just a giant wall. It makes him feel totally trapped, and maybe for the first time, he's realizing just how dirty and, well, savage they've all become.
He starts daydreaming about the most basic stuff, things we literally do every day. A bath with actual soap, a toothbrush, scissors for a haircut. It really shows you how much he's losing his grip on that old, structured world. He's just desperate for the simple feeling of being clean again.
And then, right when Rolf's at his lowest, you've got Simon. Quiet, strange Simon. He comes up to Ralph and just says this. He doesn't say, "I think you'll get back." He says, "You'll get back," like it's a fact. It's this really weird, almost prophetic moment of comfort.
So that quiet moment? Yeah, it doesn't last long. Things are about to get really loud. The tension that's been bubbling under the surface between Ralph and Jack, it's finally about to boil over.
So, after a super scary encounter with what they think is the beast up on the mountain, Jack sees his chance. He grabs the conch, calls a meeting, but not to restore order. Nope, he's there to take power. And Jack's attack here is pretty smart, in a really nasty way. He compares Ralph to Piggy. And by doing that, he's connecting Ralph to everything the hunters can't stand. Weakness, thinking too much, and talking instead of doing. It's a low blow, for sure, and it's meant to completely wreck Ralph's credibility.
And then he goes for the jugular. He calls Ralph a coward because he was hesitant to go after the beast. On an island where being brave is becoming everything, that's about the worst thing you can say about a leader.
So this isn't just Jack whining. He is literally attempting a coup. He forces a vote right then and there. It's a direct challenge to Ralph, to the conch, to all the rules they agreed on. He puts the question out there for everyone to hear. This is it, the moment of truth. Are the boys going to stick with Ralph and the rules, or are they going to go with the hunter who promises them meat and fun? And what happens? Nothing. Just silence. Nobody raises a hand. Can you imagine how embarrassing that must have been for Jack? Even with all their fear, the boys just aren't ready to throw out the rules completely. Not yet. Jack is left standing there totally humiliated.
But you think that public shaming is going to make Jack give up? No way. If anything, it just pushes him over the edge, and it leads directly to the moment the whole group splinters in two. He's got tears of pure rage and humiliation running down his face, and he just says it. He's done. Done with Ralph, done with the rules, and totally done with the conch.
So he just storms off into the jungle. But he's not just leaving to be alone. He's starting something new. He's creating his own tribe, and his invitation is simple. Forget the signal fire, forget rescue. If you want to hunt and have fun and get meat, you can come with me. And just like that, the island is officially divided.
So, what's the very first thing Jack's new tribe does? They go on a hunt. But this isn't just about getting dinner. This is a ritual. It's their first step into something much, much darker.
Jack leads his new followers on this really brutal hunt. They track down a mother sow who's actually nursing her piglets. They surround her, and the whole thing just descends into this violent, chaotic mess. I mean, this scene is just horrifying. With Jack and Roger leading the way, the boys aren't just hunting anymore. They're lost in this frenzy, a bloody ceremony where it feels like the last bits of their old selves are just draining away. And after the kill, they do something truly gruesome that kind of cements their new identity. They cut off the sow's head, they sharpen a stick at both ends, and they jam the head right onto one of the points. They've made a totem, an idol.
And the reason they do this? It's absolutely chilling. It's an offering, a sacrifice to the beast. They're not trying to fight their fear anymore. They're trying to bribe it, to worship it. They've completely given in to this primal superstition.
But here's the thing. Someone saw the whole thing. Simon, hidden away in his secret spot in the jungle, he witnessed all of it. And what happens next is easily one of the most important moments in the entire book.
So after the hunters take off, Simon is left there, alone, with their grotesque offering, the sow's head, now covered in buzzing flies. And that image, the Lord of the Flies, becomes the central symbol of the whole story.
And Simon, who's probably dehydrated and definitely hallucinating, he starts to believe the head is speaking to him. And it tells him this awful, awful truth. The beast isn't some monster you can hunt and kill.
In this single moment, the Lord of the Flies confirms Simon's deepest, darkest fear. The beast, the real source of all the evil on this island, it's not some creature lurking in the trees. It's inside of them. It's the darkness inside of human nature itself.
The voice just mocks him, it calls him a silly little boy, and it threatens him, saying the other boys will do him if he tries to tell them the truth. And this revelation, this awful knowledge is just too much. Simon is completely overwhelmed, and he faints.
And so that leaves us with this final, haunting question. Through Simon's terrible vision, we're forced to face the book's darkest idea. If the real beast is the evil that's inside all of us, then what hope is there for rescue? Not just from the island, but from ourselves.